Now, from Indiana's most watched news station.
This is my worst fear, and I just wanted to hold them to know that they're okay.
It has happened here, a school shooting in central Indiana.
My mind cannot process that this actually happened to us. Like, our school, our people.
A student shoots 2 people at Noblesville West Middle School. One of them, a science teacher who stopped that student.
I'm really grateful for him to be there, because without him, I'm not sure if all of us would have made it.
Tonight, Hoosiers come together to support each other, pray, and heal. FOX59 News at 10 starts right now.
And still developing at this hour, a shooting at Hamilton County Middle School. We are getting more information tonight. A student and teacher shot, another student in custody right now. We have live team coverage from every angle. Thanks so much for joining us. We have a lot to get to. I'm Fanchon Stinger.
And I'm Dan Spieler. Tonight, parents are hugging their children a little bit tighter after this morning's shooting. Here's what we know at this hour. A student started shooting in a science class at Noblesville West Middle School just after 9 a.m.
Police are telling us that student asked to be excused from class, then came back with 2 handguns. He shot a student and a teacher before that teacher tackled him. He was able to tackle him, knock the gun away, yell to the students to call 911 and run. The 13-year-old student is in critical condition at Riley Hospital for Children tonight. The teacher, we're told, is in good condition at Methodist Hospital. Also tonight, the suspected shooter is in custody. And that teacher is being called a hero.
Rightly so tonight. His name is Jason Seaman. He's a 7th grade science teacher in Noblesville. He actually released a statement tonight from the hospital thanking first responders. He says, quote, "I want to let everyone know that I was injured, but I'm doing great. To all the students, you're wonderful, and I thank you for your support. You are the reason I teach."
FOX59's Haley Bull talked to students who were inside Mr. Seaman's classroom.
Yeah, she joins us now live from Noblesville West Middle School with their reaction tonight. Haley?
Yeah, guys, students say they were taking a test inside this building when shots rang out. They ran, well, they say their teacher stayed behind. Tonight they have gratitude words simply can't describe to Mr. Seaman for saving their lives.
I'm really grateful for him to be there, because without him, I'm not sure if all of us would have made it.
12-year-old Carter Sutherland sits here alive. He says thanks to his 7th grade science teacher, Mr. Seaman, a hero in the midst of harrowing moments.
It really came into realization what was happening when the person right in front of me got shot.
Students inside say they were taking a test during second period when another student asked to go to the bathroom, came back inside, then started firing.
He walked in and he just had the gun in his hand and he started waving it around. And he took about like 4 to 5, maybe 6 shots.
Everybody got down, and the person right next to me I saw fall down.
Students in a panic as the shots were fired.
And he started shooting at Mr. Seaman, and everybody started screaming and freaking out, and Mr. Seaman ran up and tackled him and secured him.
And then he started screaming to call 911 and get out, and we realized that he had got him to the ground. The gun was out of his hands.
While Mr. Seaman stopped the shooter, students ran out of the school. With each step, a chilling realization of what happened and what their teacher did in that moment.
It's pretty scary. I've done a lot of thinking. I'm still trying to really understand what happened. I'm still trying to process it.
He's a hero. Like, if he didn't do anything, he probably would have continued shooting, and a lot more of us would have been injured and possibly killed.
Carter and his family again say there are really no words to express just how thankful they are, but emphasize they are praying for everyone involved tonight, no doubt, like many people in this community. Lindsay Eaton is live tonight at Methodist Hospital right now. She has more with a parent who speaks highly of Mr. Seaman. Lindsay?
Yes, we are hearing so much praise for Jason Seaman tonight. He is here at Methodist recovering. Just a few hours ago, police are telling us that the 29-year-old teacher is in good condition. Now, students and parents realize what Mr. Seaman did in those terrifying moments ended up saving lives.
My mind cannot process that this actually happened to us. Like, our school, our people that we know, we love. It doesn't process.
2 hours into the school day Friday morning, gunshots were fired inside Noblesville West Middle School.
It's something that you don't want to go through and don't want to like ever happen again or think about it.
A student came into Jason Seaman's science class with 2 guns and started shooting. Other students say Mr. Seaman was a hero, tackling the shooter and trying to knock the gun out of his hand.
It was just something that not most people would have done, but he was very brave to do it.
Those who know Mr. Seaman tell us his selfless actions aren't surprising.
To us, to our family, to my son, for sure, to my 8th grader. He's been a hero for a while, but, you know, under unfortunate circumstances, now the nation knows that heroism, so.
Don Killebrew's son struggles with severe anxiety issues. Mr. Seaman helped him, saying he was more than a teacher, he was a role model. Even today, he was encouraging Don's son before the shooting.
He looked at him this morning and he said, hey buddy, it's going to be a good day today.
Parents and students know because of what this teacher did, the day could have turned out much worse.
He sacrificed himself today to save kids, so it's amazing.
Now we do know there is a GoFundMe account set up for Mr. Seaman. That information is over on our website, and again, at last check, he is listed in good condition. Reporting live downtown tonight, Lindsay Eden, Fox 59 News.
What a hero. Lindsay, thank you so much. Also tonight, youth baseball teams with players who attend Noblesville West Middle School showed their support for the school this evening.
Before the game, the players, coaches, and parents prayed to bring healing to the community.
There is something bigger than baseball going on here tonight, Lord. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. Amen.
These kids that shouldn't even, it's just tragic knowing what they had to go through at such a young age. We look at baseball as, well, this is an opportunity to heal.
Tomorrow there will be a community prayer service in Noblesville. People at I-Town Church in Fishers will be praying for Noblesville West Middle School. That event starts tomorrow at 9 a.m.
So many prayers flooding in from around the country. During today's investigation at the middle school, a code red was also called at the high school because of a bomb threat.
A lot of panic moments today. Students barricaded themselves in their classrooms, and we have powerful video from inside one of those classrooms. You can actually hear a teacher calming the students through this process. Watch here.
Stay calm. Stay calm. Deep breath. Deep breath.
Chilling moments inside that classroom, but as we said, calm from that teacher that helped those students in so many ways. A student tells us they went through these training drills for active shooter situations, and the lockdown there at the high school lasted about 45 minutes.
And what you saw there were those students actually barricading that door, putting desks and chairs in front of that door to make sure that they were safely barricaded inside that room. Now, some parents in Noblesville have been pushing for stronger school security. That includes Lisa Duell, who has a student at Noblesville West Middle School. Listen.
The threat is always evolving, and so I think that's what we need to look at. We need to not be in response mode. We need to be proactive with our security measures and with our security system. We need to proactively protect our children and their teachers.
The group Saving Our Students has asked the Noblesville School Board to install an advanced security system in the district's 10 schools. It is not clear tonight yet what the district plans to do about that idea, but we will continue to follow up on that and let you know what they decide.
And this afternoon, police searched a home in Noblesville. Sources tell us it was connected, that search, to the shooting at the school today. We're also working to get you more information about the 13-year-old who was shot at Noblesville West Middle School today.
Yeah, a lot of people still thinking and praying for that young student tonight. We did talk to her friend who has known her for about 10 years. She says she can always bring a smile to your face.
When I was told that she was the one that was shot, I just started crying because I couldn't believe that one of my really good friends was injured.
She says her prayers are with her friend and her friend's family tonight.
Yeah, the 13-year-old is still being treated tonight at Riley Hospital for Children.
And that is where Fox 59's Trevor Shirley is right now with the very latest. Trevor, any word on her condition at this hour?
Hey, good evening. At this point, we know that 13-year-old victim is still here at Riley Hospital, listed in critical condition. We've also learned she was initially taken to a hospital in Noblesville before she was airlifted here for more treatment. In the meantime, tonight, more questions are being asked as to what state leaders are doing to keep something like this from happening again. Around 9 o'clock this morning, the question of what if became what now.
It's heartbreaking to even imagine what these students and teachers and faculty had to endure.
After returning from an economic development trip to Europe, Governor Eric Holcomb praising Noblesville first responders and assuring those gathered that all Indiana schools must have access to whatever they need to prevent school shootings.
We have to make sure that all the resources are there.
Holcomb's confident the state is moving in the right direction. After the recent passage of the school safety bill, state legislators opened up $40 million for districts to enhance security.
If there's a resource that is needed by a school in the state of Indiana, we're going to find a way to deliver on that.
Other state leaders also reassuring parents, teachers, and students about proactive measures being taken.
Every day, be assured that your Indiana schools, we prepare, we plan, and we partner.
State Education Superintendent Dr. Jennifer McCormick homing in on the importance of positive partnerships between school communities and law enforcement for both stopping and responding to a school shooting.
But we're going to try everything in our power to make sure that we are preventative, and if God forbid something happens, that we're ready on the responsive end.
It may be little comfort to the Noblesville families still dealing with the shock of this morning's shooting, but state leaders say they are working to make sure something like this never happens again in the Hoosier homeland.
We are not just talking, we are doing right now. That's the bottom line.
And this afternoon, Governor Holcomb also talking about the importance of the current school safety audit. That's a look at all public schools across the state in terms of where each of them stand in regards to safety preparedness. The results of that audit should be out sometime this summer. In the meantime, Governor Holcomb also says he does plan to visit Noblesville in the coming days, although he didn't say exactly when that visit will happen. We're live at Riley Hospital for Children tonight. I'm Trevor Shirley, Fox 59 News.
Trevor, thank you. No doubt this is a situation that will continue to develop, especially with the investigation just getting underway over the next few days and weeks. Dan.
We are still waiting to find out exactly who the shooter is, why this happened, and how he got those guns, how he got them inside the school. Fox 59 has been on this story from the very beginning. We'll continue to stay on top of it all day and night, all weekend. You can count on Fox 59 and fox59.com. for continuing coverage.
Our coverage of the school shooting in Noblesville will continue. We have advice tonight on how to talk to your children this weekend about violence like this. That's still to come.
And we are tracking a few showers that are approaching the Illinois-Indiana border. We are looking at the chances for a few rain showers and some thunderstorms heading into our Saturday, as well as a hot and humid weekend. All the details coming up.
And now back to our coverage of the school shooting today at Noblesville West Middle School. Today, the executive director of the National Association of School Resource Officers was in town because of the Indy 500.
And he is telling us that officers in his organization have been responding to school shootings more and more all over the country. Fox 59's Tanae Howard shows us why he says these cases are nearly impossible to prevent and why one researcher says prevention is exactly what we should be focused on.
Another day of heartbreaking images like this carved in our minds. A student and teacher shot at Noblesville West Middle School when police say a student opened fire in a 7th grade science class.
Since January 1st, since the new year, we've experienced really at least one of these a week. On average.
Mo Kennedy is the executive director of the National Association of School Resource Officers. In this case, a teacher took the student down. He says resource officers are usually the first line of defense and are trained to go toward the gunshots.
You hear shots fired in your school, you respond.
According to a recent Ball State study, a third of parents surveyed say they expect a school shooting to happen at their child's school in the next 3 years.
We asked the parents, what is the cause of shootings in schools and children shooting each other? The first thing they said is poor parenting.
No matter how much we put into place, if someone has it in their mind to commit an act of mass murder, it's very difficult, near impossible sometimes, to stop that initial act. So it then becomes all in how we respond to it.
Professor Kupchung Dani says that's exactly where attention should switch to. Prevention.
There clearly needs to be more research. We have been spending so much time, years after years, trying to, create a discussion, and we blame the politics, the easy access to guns, but nothing about prevention.
Today, how
Well, parents, we know it can be so difficult to talk to your children about events like these.
Yeah, we know a lot of those conversations are going to be happening this week, and I actually had a chance to sit down with a licensed mental health counselor from Community Health Network earlier today. He says make sure your children know that they can talk to you.
Don't tell your child, let's not talk about it. Okay, just the opposite is appropriate. Let's talk about it. What do you need from me? Number two, I really would limit your child's involvement on social media this weekend.
And by the way, counseling services will be available tomorrow and Monday at Noblesville High School. They will be there for you to serve you from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. That's for district teachers and staff, from 1 to 3 p.m. for parents and students. School will resume as normal for all schools in Noblesville except for Noblesville West on Tuesday. Counselors will be at the middle school Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Again, that's Tuesday for the students and parents and staff at the Noblesville West Middle School, 10 to 2. And also counseling resources are available through the Hoosier Crisis Counseling Hotline. That number is on your screen. We also have information on more counseling resources for you online at fox59.com.
All right, we're also talking tonight about our weather and the weekend ahead with some rain I see just off across the state line there. Tonight, what will we see for race weekend? That's the big question tonight.
We're seeing a little bit of a mix of everything. We're talking heat and humidity.
Yeah.
Want to stay hydrated.
Yeah.
And then we are talking those rain chances. There they are. We've been talking about how we have the chances for them to develop as we head into the overnight hours, and they're right there along the Illinois-Indiana border. So we do have chances for a few showers. Not everyone's seeing rain, and a couple of thunderstorms as we head into the early morning hours. On Saturday, temperatures too still on the warm side. We're still in the 70s, 76 in Cicero, 79 in Kokomo, 79 here at the Fox 59 studio, and still in the 80s in downtown Indianapolis, lower 80s, and we got up into the upper 80s this afternoon, 88 degrees for a high temperature. That's right where we thought we would be, and that makes it the 19th 80-degree day this May. 21 is the record, and so we are looking to break that as we head into the next few days. But also up that dew point, the humidity is rising. It's up in the upper 50s, 58 in Indianapolis, 56 in Lafayette, and that's a decent change from this time just 24 hours ago, and it's going to continue to rise as we head into Saturday. Look at that, rising overnight into early morning hours, looking for dew points in the mid 60s. And we are tracking those rain showers. Here we are, Fox Futurecast. It has a pretty good hold on where these are coming, maybe a little bit more on this model than we're actually seeing, and we are looking for the chances for some scattered showers, a few thunderstorms overnight. This is paused here at 2 a.m. and then continuing through the early morning hours, a few spotty showers still around, possibly a thunderstorm, and then we're looking for chances to pick up again as we head into the early afternoon. This is 1:30 p.m. Looking for a few scattered showers and storms around. Notice though, a lot of us still dry. We're not looking for everyone to get wet. Many hours of dry time, not a washout by any means as we head into the weekend, but we will continue with the chances of a few showers as we head into the early evening hours on Saturday too. So be prepared for a little bit of rain tomorrow. Temperatures in the mid 80s, the humidity will be up, so that heat index will be in place, making it feel several degrees warmer than it actually is. And race day, even hotter. We're looking at temperatures in the mid 80s right around the time the race gets started. And then as we head into the afternoon, close to 90 degrees, mostly dry, but there is that chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm. So the chance is there, but most of us staying dry all day long. Look at this 7-day forecast. Very warm, 89 on Sunday. Looking for our first 90 on Memorial Day. Again, a chance for some isolated showers, mostly dry though. Basically a carbon copy on Tuesday. Better chances for rain Wednesday, Thursday, the start of June on Friday.
Okay, thanks, Krista. The stands at IMS were packed today for Carb Day. We've got the 3 things you need to know before the greatest spectacle in racing next.
And coming up tonight on Newspoint at 11, a student opens fire inside a middle school classroom and a teacher takes down the gunman. The latest on this investigation and the bone-chilling details of what happened inside that classroom. Plus, an officer caught on camera saving a 2-month-old baby. See him in action and why he says he was just in the right place at the right time. We'll see you next on Newspoint.
We want to get you back to our coverage of the school shooting in Noblesville at Noblesville West Middle School earlier today. One student, one teacher shot this morning. Hundreds of parents rushed to Noblesville High School to pick up their children and loved ones today. So many hugs, so much relief there.
I'm very happy to see my girls, to have them in my arms, to know that they're okay, that there's just a lot to talk about, but just happy that they are okay.
The suspected shooter is another student. That student is in custody tonight. And Dan, you and I both live in Noblesville. Yeah. You were one of the first reporters on the scene. We both have friends who have children at that school. Yeah. It was a tough day.
It was a tough day to separate being a journalist and a parent. Yeah. When this happens in your hometown, you really can't. And the one thing that struck me on my way to the scene, I live nearby and made my way there this morning after I had dropped my kids off at daycare. And the thing that struck me the most was seeing parents ahead of me with their blinkers on, going through red lights, getting there as fast as they can, parking along the side of the road, because you put yourself in their shoes and think, my goodness, and also about all of the friends and neighbors that we have who have kids who go to school there. And there, there are so many victims in this shooting in the sense that, yes, there were 2 people who were shot. But these are young kids. These are 7th and 8th grade kids who experienced this across the hall, in the room next to them, nearby.
They're traumatized.
And they're gonna need to talk through it, as we mentioned earlier in the newscast. I think it's a community that's still a little bit in shock tonight.
Yeah. And there are going to be a lot of conversations this weekend. Of course, the prayers are continuing to flood in. We're going to continue to pray for all those people, the students, the parents, and our entire community, because it could have happened at any school. Yeah. Well, Krista's going to be right back with one more look at your weekend forecast. Stay close.
All right, Carb Day today, and it's officially race weekend here in Indy. Look at that countdown. Just
finally.
1 day and 13 hours now until the 102nd running of the Indy 500. It is this Sunday, just after 12 noon.
And if you are going to the race, remember you need to do these 3 things. Plan ahead, arrive early, and hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. IMS is expecting one of the largest crowds in a decade this Sunday. IU
Health medical staff are at the track all weekend with IV, fluids, cooling, buses, and air-conditioned medical tents. Doctors say to keep hydrated and look for warning signs of dehydration.
And heat cramps generally occur in the lower extremities of your legs. So if you feel heat cramps, you need to get out of the heat.
On race day, medics predict they'll help between 600 and 1,000 people with medical issues. So remember, lots of water, shade, and sunscreen. There was a parent today out at Noblesville at the scene too who was affected by the heat. You've got to be very careful.
Absolutely, and that's great advice because we are dealing with very warm temperatures. Look at that. Saturday mid-80s, Sunday close to 90, but very humid both days. Few chances of rain on Saturday, but not a washout by any means, but very warm.
All right, a tough day. We hope you have a good weekend. Sports Overtime coming up.
Coming up next. Have a great weekend.